right now working in the Mastercard. He is a software developer. So I welcome him for the placement talk today. I want you all to be more interactive and please talk to him. And if you have any clarifications or any doubts regarding your placement activities or all to utilize this opportunity. And over to you, Akshay.
Hi, Jacqueline, ma'am. So, thank you for inviting me. I think there was some kind of delay, but yeah, we can go ahead. So, how do you want me to take this session ahead? Like, what's the plan? Should I come up with some intro and then we have a Q&A, or what is it?
Yeah, you can actually proceed with your plan of giving your introduction and how you have get into your career in that way. And by the meantime, we'll slow up with the Q&A.
Okay. And like, what is the audience here? Is it the combination of second, third, and fourth year, or only fourth years?
No, it's final year, final year. Those who are aspiring for their career right now, they are final years.
Okay, great, great. Okay, so let me share up my screen for a quick introduction, and then we can. So, please tell me if it's visible.
Yeah. Your screen is visible.
Okay, hi folks. I think you all are doing good, and my name is Akshay, and I've been there in SRM. I'm 2022 grad, and it's been 2.4 years of my software development journey. So let me start with my on-campus placement. So I had my first placement at Brilio, and there I worked for around 1 year, 2 months. And at this point of time, I started public learning as well, right? So there goes our YouTube channel where we maintain some sort of playlist for all the data structures. Now from there, I went to software engineer again at Cognum. So it was a health product startup. Basically, the hospitals were there in US, and we make some products regarding the big data handling. So that was the first time I had the opportunity to work on a full stack project along with the deployment and the AWS and GCP. And if I recall, that was the first time I did the certification as well in both of the cloud platforms. After that, after 8 months, I joined Sigmoid. That is again in Bangalore, in Whitefield, if you may know. So there they have actually various sort of or let's say all task maturity on data engineering. So they hire you as a software developer, but it's like a 50-50 ratio. It's a 50% development work, 50% data engineering work. So I'm receiving several DMs as well, should we join Sigmoid or not. So I don't if Sigmoid has come to SRM campus as well, you can connect me on if you have any questions. And then recently, a month back, or maybe 3 weeks back exactly, I joined Mastercard as a software development engineer too, or you can say senior engineer. So yeah, that was my journey for rest of the things. So previously also we had 2 sessions with SRM on the same alma mater, and we again covered the DSA placement, how we study DSA and the roadmap and sort of thing. So those videos also you can find on YouTube, right? Let me quickly wrap things up. So yeah, so again, coming to DSA, so I'll be emphasizing more on this thing, DSA, and then you cover the development, and then I will answer rest of the questions regarding based on your Q&A, right? So there are multiple playlists which I have maintained, and specifically in the deep dive we have covered the complex topics, right? Just a recursion ho gaya, right? This is like if someone teach you also, then also we get problem to understand. So you can refer those if you want, and if you're still not started preparation. But considering that you're in 4th year, I'm assuming कि सबने अच्छे से prepare किया होगा and you are doing good on your placement. Let us see the whole bunch of playlists. So these are all the things. There are also interview experience, like this is the call of I guess only 1 hour in which we have half an hour left. So for all the interviews which I have given, I guess, 20 plus interviews in my entire career, maybe even more, but 20 plus offers I had. So all those interview experiences and how do we approach a DSA question, what is asked, what is not asked, all of this is covered in this playlist, except for the Mastercard, because there's a security thing. I cannot disclose many things regarding the Mastercard. Yep, I think that would be a quick intro of mine. Um, I'll hand on to you, ma'am, and if team or let's say students have any more question, definitely they would have. I can answer them.
With I have three questions to represent. Okay. So the first question over here is, since being a final year faculty advisor, most of the time students, whenever they approach, they usually tell that they have been given their resume or applying for many jobs every time, but most of the time the company is restricting, or the selection shortlist itself don't have their name. Do you have any particular reason that why they are just seeing their resume and selecting or not selecting over towards it?
Okay, so let me share up the screen again. So that's a very good question, ma'am, and I also faced so many difficulties on that. So while I was in SRM, there is a template for SRM, right? And you need to follow that. But while you must have you must showcase your DSA skills. That is any ranking you have to show, right? Or how many questions you have solved in just one line, you can do that. And definitely development projects should be there, right? So these are the criteria your resume will get filtered. But after coming out of SRM, if you talk about off campus, right, then there are several criteria. The first one should be that do not make a fancy resume and strictly make it in one page. Do not go beyond it,
Okay.
right?
And my second question,
Please go ahead, ma'am.
no, I couldn't hear you. I thought you have completed.
Okay, so there are two to three more pointers. Let me complete that. And there's one ATS score, right? So you should always you'll be finding many online tools. You get the ATS score. It should be at least 80 plus. That would be better, because when we apply to a company, like no one, a human does not like view your resume. It's always like the machine reading your template, right? And try to mention your keywords, and don't mind my handwriting here, right? Try to mention the keywords, which technology stack you have worked, right? Because that is the thing that machine looks for. And the 4 point is that make your resume in latex format, right? There is a tried and tested format, right? And I think considering these 4 points and having your DSA and projects, your development skills in the projects, you should get a call. But again, I'm saying it is again your hard work, and there is definitely the luck factor as well, right? If you if I talk about myself, I was like applying to several of the companies. You can see my journey of 4 companies. That looks pretty good. But if you ask me that how many companies did I applied for, so I had 1 hour slot time for every day to apply for those companies. You make an easy apply on LinkedIn or the career site, but the best way is to get a referral, right? Referral has the maximum chances, right? And this is something I'm specifically saying for off campus. For on campus, usually we had the chance we can sit and then we can showcase our skills. I hope that answers your question, ma'am, and for students as well.
So the second question is related to the personal branding. According to your view, how much you can say that the personal branding is very much important to promote yourself with respect to job and career?
Okay, so if you talk about me again, um, how do I answer this question? So personal branding, why is it important for a job switch? I don't think it is. It's just the thing that you keep applying and you get a call and then you crack the interview. But again, this definitely give you some edge, right? This definitely, because if I talk, when I shifted to Cognum, right, and and what I did a mistake was that I mentioned my YouTube channel in the resume. If you are doing something like that, like don't mention it first of all. On a bigger picture, it creates a negative feedback to the managerial level because they think that you are spending some time somewhere else. But yeah, if someone finds out from any other place but not directly by you, it's okay, it's not a problem. So if someone finds like you are already, or let's say I have already uploaded 400 videos of DSA questions, so definitely, and I'm doing a live solving as well, so that no question asked, it is clear that he has solved that question, he at least know how to solve that question. So personal branding definitely gives you an edge, but I would not say this is a compulsory or a mandatory. It's totally depend on like you wanted this for you or not, so totally depends on that. Yeah, I hope that answers my I guess you're
Third question, it's completely about the technical side. So it's like nowadays most of the people are being into the bloom of machine learning. So I can see that almost all the students who have been giving their resumes, they have this machine learning projects, they have done this project, that project. And how do you think that as a recruiter or as well as one of the panelists over there, if you look onto that, most of the people are working on that ML project. Is that good or not good?
okay. So the simple answer, give me 1 second now. Yeah, I'm back. So it totally depends on what role you're applying for. Let's say if I'm applying for and make sure that your one resume will not go for every job IDs. Let's say if I'm applying for a software development role, SD2 backend Java, then definitely my project should be specific to Java backend Spring Boot. Now if I'm applying for a role for a data engineer, let's say, then your ML or AI projects will work. So a very simple cut answer, you should always go through the JD of the job you're applying for and make your resume, or let's say hamper your resume respect to the role you're applying for. Mention those projects only. Do not, and if you do not have any, you have done only 2 projects, right? And that's in AI and ML. And I'm assuming that's because you are in a very early phase of your career. Then there's no option. Either you make some projects regarding that job ID, mention it, or you just go forward with the same projects. But I hope you got the crux. Read the job ID, understand what role it is for, and mention and revamp your resume based on that. Mention those skills, because when it goes to ATS, it will automatically look for the job skills which I want for that particular ID, right? So it will help. Even if your resume get clear and you get in the interview and you applied for a software developer, but you have mentioned the projects of AI and ML. So, but if you had mentioned that software development projects, your interview would have got in that direction, explored those projects, right? Okay, that's a great candidate, he answered all the questions. So yeah, I think you got the answer.
Okay, so from my side, the last question is about this, because I actually gathered all these questions after talking to my students.
Okay.
So the last question over here is, we can find few students who can be very much open up and they are good at their communicative skills and they can actually go for it. But few students, though they are technically good, but they are unable to expose themselves when they are being about in their panel or somewhere else. So what could be your tip to make them, or to make them up to present themselves in the panel?
Okay, so first of all, if you are joining corporate, then communication is a must. Like whatever task you have done, or let's say not done, or you have faced problem, if you're not able to communicate that to your daily scrum call, or to the manager or whoever is taking your update, then that's a very big red flag, right? You should work on the skill of speaking confidently, right? And sometimes it happens that when you start to speak, or let's say I can say in generally what happens that when you start to speak, you know what to say, but when you are put at that point, you do not have the words to express, right? So make it a habit, like try to be part of some debating society, try to be open in your group discussion forums. And I think there are several activities going on in college as well. We have GD group discussion for each and every subject. Try to be proactive, right? Try to be in a group of people who are also aligned with your aim, want to learn the same things. So that would definitely help. So what do we say? A good company and a good mindset to keep learning the things. That is, or to say continuous learning. It's very important. And again, I'm highlighting communication is a very big must. You should have if you're joining the corporate culture. Yep. I think that answers
Okay,
my.
so participants, if you have any queries, participants, if you have any queries and you would like to interact, you can go for it. Yes,
Hi Akshay,
Puranjay, you can. Uh,
hi. Hi Akshay. I wanted to go back to the topic of resume, where you talked about the ATS score. I have used like 5 websites now. On 2 of them, my ATS score is been around 90 plus, but on the other websites, the same resume scores around 30 or 40. So, is there any particular tool that company uses that you can tell us about so we can tailor it around that tool?
Is it? By the way, hi Puranjay. I have it's the first time hearing this thing, but yeah, like I do not have a designated tool in my mind. Whatever comes first, or maybe whatever which is used most, you can use that. But yeah, like I haven't heard this kind of problem having, like, if you're saying 80 and then the another saying is 30, then definitely there's a side problem. So if you're using 5, then take the average of them, whatever, because there would be not much error. If there is much error, then leave that side. Whatever is coming as the average, you can take that one. I think at this point of time, I would say this resolution.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll use the average. And
Yeah. And
also,
sorry to cut you in between. There is one site, Overleaf, right? And use that site. Search latex format Overleaf template and use that site to make your resume if you're going for on campus. Because off campus, in on campus, I think you already have a template. So yeah, please go ahead.
yes, I used the Jake's resume from Overleaf website.
Great.
Uh, and also, I wanted to talk about as a fresher, do I have to focus on emergent technologies? Let's say in web development, we have Redis and Kafka. They are now being used in the EDA.
Mm-hmm.
So, would an interviewer expect, like, if I know these things, would I have an upper edge over an, let's say, software dev or web dev interview, or is it like I'm with everyone on the same level there?
Okay, so how many little experience we are talking here? 0, like it's your first job, you're saying.
It's a fresher job. It's an on-campus job.
Okay, so below 2 years, this the kind of technology you mentioned, Redis and the messaging tool, the SNS and Kafka. I don't think that they would go in deep. You just know that Redis exists as a cache. You can use this to optimize your memory thing is enough if you are below the 2 years. But if you know, that definitely will give you an upper edge, right? If you're able to communicate to your interviewer, again the communication part comes, and if he understood your point, then definitely there's an upper edge. But if you talk about the prerequisites is DSA, some good development projects where you have worked the API or whatever. The API things are actually good. And the 4 subjects we have, the database, definitely they will ask, right? Operating system, computer networks, and object-oriented programming. If you have good projects, definitely you'll get a upper edge. But I would not say that is a mandatory. But you should have good projects. Yeah.
For the SDE roles, what tech stack are you talking about? Like, I do AI ML, but I also do backend. So for all the models I make, I also make my backend APIs and let's say a makeshift front end. So does that count towards an SDE role project?
See, for a fresher, if you are talking about the on-campus placement, right? I don't think they will judge you more on what projects you have made either. So yeah, because in my sense, I was having the development projects, right? And there was only one MLEI project that was my final year project. But still, I got the opportunity to work at Brilio, and it was like a cloud base, which I never worked on it, right? So if you are an experienced candidate, I'm saying about maybe 2+ or 3+ and above and beyond, then your projects will have a very deep impact on what role you will get in your your office. but that also depends. If you have made projects on full stack, but there is no, uh, you will get a position for software development, but there is, if new emerging tech stack comes, then you have to shift, you have to like keep learn and unlearn things, right? So it is all about the, what I think that they judge you is attitude. Like, are you able, like, are you able to learn? Like, are you fit? Like, if I tell you something to learn, will you be able to learn in the given time or not? So that is the thing they check. That's the attitude they want. So I think that answers your question or not.
Thanks, Akshay. It answers it perfectly.
Thanks, Pranjay. Do we have any more questions? Is anyone saying something?
Participants, if you have any other queries, please do ask.
Hi Akshay.
Hi, Anubhav.
Actually, I am applying for off-campus like opportunities, but like still I'm not getting replies from 50-60% of them. So how can I increase this? How can I I have done DSA, I have done dev, but still, what point?
So when you say you have done DSA, have you mentioned any sort of milestone in your resume, like how the candidate or recruiter will know that you have done DSA? Have you mentioned something like that? Any coding
Yeah, I
profile?
have attached the links. I'll attach the links to my profile, as well as like I have participated in some contests, so I have mentioned the ranks also. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Great,
dev
and
projects also.
you mentioned the projects as well, right?
Yes.
So if you are done with both of the things, and let me show you my resume. Please confirm, is the screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so
Yes, we can able to see your screen.
great. So that was the 4 points when I mentioned it should not go beyond one page, right? It should never go beyond. If your content is greater, then make it wrap it around one page, right? So, so when you say you have done the DSA, so this is the thing I was talking about. Mention anything that you have solved, like number of questions, maybe, or what ranks you hold, right? And you can mention your certification if you have honor and awards or the volunteer work, right? And you can add the summary if you want. See, these are the links I was mentioning about. This is the coding. If you open this, if someone open this, then definitely he or she will have a greater insights, right? Then you mention your experience, whatever you have, and do not exceed one page, right? Again, it's a latex format. Mention your projects, and yeah, I think you'd be good to go. Coming back to your question that you have mentioned your DSA thing, you have mentioned good projects. Uh, so I think then the only thing stopping you is your level of experience, because at first stage, like when we have like 0+ years of experience, right? So the company usually, or what I have observed, that good companies usually hire 0 to 2+ year experience from on campus, right? What I have observed again, what I observed, I'm saying that thing. And if you go for on off campus, it is definitely a bit tougher, because you have to compete with all the candidates present globally in India, in entire India, right? But in on campus, you just have to compete with the students present in one university, right? So maybe that could be the reason you are not getting the call. And it also depends on the frequency of application you are putting per day. So may I know some number that you are putting the application per day?
10-15 maybe.
That is too less. That is too less, man. Okay, you should go at least 100 at least. Then only you have the chance of, upon the 100 you'd get, maybe you get a call on 5 or 6. And when I'm saying it, I have tried, that's why I'm saying. Maybe it differ for others, but that was the case for me. And what I have heard from seniors, you have to keep applying. मतलब आँख बंद करो और तीर चलाते जाओ, कहीं लगा तो ठीक, else else it depends on luck, man. And then once you get a chance, do not prepare so well that it didn't blow away, right? So getting an opportunity now in this time is harder than cracking the interview. So I hope you got the point. Keep applying, and yeah, I think you'll be able to do it.
Some companies have the job ID listed on their websites, but that only I can apply to, right?
Yes,
Maybe there are
and
some openings internally as well. So should I be DMing people about the opportunity or something?
yes, and go for referral as well, because the job market we see is very less. It's like 20%. The tip of iceberg. You must have seen some kind of photos on the LinkedIn, but the internal
Yeah,
job
yeah.
openings are like too much, too much. But if you have a referral, definitely it will help. My last two jobs, my even the Mastercard and my Sigma job, I got it from a referral. You got the interview and then you need to crack it. Yeah,
Okay, so when you were joining, you were expected DSA or like
I didn't get your
div?
question while I was joining.
Uh, like you had some experience, right? So at that level also they expect DSA or like they
Yeah,
focus more on your.
DSA will never leave your side. Like, and why I'm saying is that in my all interviews, I have asked all my seniors, which were like 10 to 12 years of experience as well, for those who decide to stay in code, because again, you may not know the hierarchy. After 5 years or let's say 6 years, there are two ways. Either you become a managerial part of via coding system, that you also need to code and your fellow developers will also code. There is another way that you go to the management part, but you don't have to code, you have to manage the team. That's where come the technical product manager and architect and senior architect. So architect and senior architect types, they have to like rigorous in coding as well, and now when they give interview, definitely much more technical questions would be asked, right? So again, based on my experience, I think if you decide to stay in coding for let's say 7 to 8 years or maybe even 10 years, DSA would be the integral part of you. But the only point I would mention is that once you cross 3 years or let's say 2 years, then DSA weightage would be a bit lower, not lower, no, much lower, a bit lower, because then some external or some extra points will also be expected from you. Like if you have spent 2 years in industry, definitely you have done some work, right? And that work is development, not DSA, right? You need to explain those. And once you have crossed 2.5 or 3 plus, then there's a subject called design pattern, system design. That would be a must for a candidate. I remember I also had the opportunity to sit for a company called Simpress. It's a very big company, and they offer remote opportunities for all the employees, so you must apply for that as well. And below 2 years they only had 2 DSA round, but mine was 2.1, so I was like 2 plus experience. So mine was first DSA that got cleared, and second was LLD, low level design, in which you will get a problem like design a hotel management system, design a cinema booking system, movie ticket system, and there you actually need to code the things. So there, OOPS concept, object-oriented programming, comes in play. Very, very important. Uh, I thought I got distracted. What was your question again? Uh, yeah. So
Like
based
DSA
on
and you.
sorry, yeah, I
So
remember. So based on the number of experience you'll have, DSA would be important, and then 2 plus it would be lower, and if you cross 5 plus, it would be then simple generic questions would be asked to you, reversal linked list, right? And a simple how a hash trap internally works. You do your research on this question. This is one question I was asked in each and every interview of my entire career, and I'm talking about 20 plus interviews, right? So they will grill you on this thing, how the hash map works. I don't know why they love this question. Maybe we can find or search an element in O1. Maybe that's the reason. So don't just blindly follow it. Have your research done. Yeah. So based on number of experience, you'll have the various topics up and down in your career. I hope that answers. Nubaf.
yes, I actually have one more question.
Sure.
So suppose if at the fresher level I am not able to get maybe a job in a product-based company, so should I go for a service-based or should I take some time and go into the product-based directly? Because as I've heard, there is not much growth in services.
No. You have heard it completely wrong. It's definitely not the case, right? There is growth everywhere in whatever company you go. It depends on how you take it, right? So and you are saying that you should drop and you should not go like you're saying that so-called service based. First of all, I do not agree with the service based or product based company. I consider every company as a company. There is a task you have been given, you need to solve it. I can understand your mentality. I was also in this phase when I was starting my career कि नहीं भाई मेरे को service based में नहीं जाना है. But हाँ, But once you have this understanding, like ठीक है, like what matters to you? Does it the financial benefits matters to you, or what matters the brand name you want, right? When you'll have that brand name, now you will कि अब क्या करें, अब कौन सी product, which products company is left now, you'll strive for those, right? So I would say कि clear your goal. What do you want, right? You want 30 plus LPA, you want 20 plus LPA, you want 50 plus LPA, you just clear that. Is it ऐसा कभी नहीं होगा कि मेरे को 20 मिल गया, मेरे को 50 नहीं चाहिए? तो जो दौड़ है ना, लाइक रनिंग वुड ऑलवेज बी देयर इन योर करियर कि X मिल गया तो Y चाहिए, Y मिल गया Z चाहिए. तो डिफाइन योर गोल्स एंड स्टार्ट वर्किंग टुवर्ड्स इट एंड नेवर टेक अ ड्रॉप इन योर एंटायर करियर. साथ ही करो, जो करना है साथ करो. डू द जॉब, लर्न द have the learnings which is coming on the way, spend some extra time if you are not satisfied with your current role, and yep, do it. I think that answers.
Okay, so like it is easy to switch from services also to product based.
It
After
is. It is. You need to maybe work hard, because if you got a good start from, and when I'm saying good start, I'm considering. Okay, I'll not say the number. I'm just saying that if you feel it's a good start, or let's say you're starting the product base, so definitely you'll have good chances in the career ahead. But if something has happened, and do not like get demotivated, instead make that reason to work more hard. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks, Anubhav. Okay.
Participants, any more questions from your side? Okay, can I ask the last one more question?
Yeah, please, ma'am, go ahead.
So the question over here is, now it gets a trend of low coding, no coding. How do you see that? Are we supposed to encourage the students with this concept, or they are supposed to be completely in the coding concepts or all those? Because most of the time we are getting the flyers as for the workshops and the seminars, even from the industry persons also, they started propagating this particular thing of low coding, no coding. So it becomes a famous word for everyone. So are we supposed to take this as an advantage that we have to practice the students in this way, or no, that was not the case?
Okay, that's a very interesting question, by the way. So, what my take is here is, or what I understand, or what I have learned from seniors, that until and unless if you have showed any code to your teacher, to your in your assignment, or to your fellow colleague, or somewhere in a Scrum update, and if someone asks you to explain that code, right, then you must be able to answer all the aspects of that code, whatever snippet you have written. And if you're not able to answer it, right, then that is definitely a negative impact, and you should think again that what are you doing, right? It's definitely not the right way, right? Definitely there is many generative AI tools, right, and you can get the solutions there, right, and that is there to help you, right? And it is not at all bad as well that you take help from them. But whatever help you are taking and you're copy pasting the code, you should have a very thorough understanding how that was written, right? If I asked you to tweak something in that code, like you understand tweak, right? If I ask you to change something in this code right before my eyes, right, then you should be able to do it. If you're able to do it, then I have no problem. I have what? Then you should also have no problem. Anyone should have no problem. But if you're not able to do it, then that's a very big red flag. You need to get clear your fundamentals on how you grasp the thing, right? So, yeah, that is it, I would say.
So the last call from the participant side, anyone who would like to ask any queries, or you would like to clarify on any other questions, forum is open.
And if you have any question, you can definitely ask. कोई शर्माने की जरूरत नहीं है. You can ask anything, like, है ना. Okay, let me ask one question then to all of you. Everyone is in fourth year, right? Right.
Ah.
Okay, so how many of you are confident that You know all the sorting algorithms in DSA. Just raise your hand or maybe just comment in yes or +1. Yeah, Anubhav. Anyone else? Great. Anyone else? We'll wait for 15-20 more seconds. Just raise your hand or maybe say something or write anything. I just want to see the count, that how many of you are confident in the sorting algorithms. अच्छा ठीक है, how many total algorithms are there of sorting? Please comment if you know. लिखो यार, how many total sorting or algorithms are there? You're not talking, then I have to talk now. Like, I'm not trying to demotivate, I'm just trying to understand what is your level so that I can also say something on that. Ma'am, you heard my question, right? I asked how many sorting algorithms are there. So are they not able to hear? Okay, I know 7 to 8.
Yeah. You are audible only. You are perfectly audible.
Okay. Anubhav, you raise your
Yeah.
hand. You're not
One
writing.
answer is 7 to 8.
Anubhav has not dropped his hand, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
He also answered as 7 to 8.
Okay, great. Okay. So there are actually total 10, but yeah. Okay, so I didn't ask this question to ask anything in sorting. I just wanted to know that, I just wanted to show you guys that if you have learned something now, you should be confident to say that, yeah, I know, ask me something, right? Maybe I have known it incorrectly or something I'm missing, but yeah, I have studied bubble insertion, merge, quick, stable, cycle, heap, and everything, right? So you should have that confidence to say, yeah, I have read it. Maybe if I am not remembering it yet, but yeah, I have studied all the algorithms. ठीक है यार, तो I think that is it from my side. तो अच्छे से DSA करो. Since you are a fresher, since you have 0+ years of experience, तो अगले 2 साल तक, or let's say अगले 3 साल तक, till 3 years, until and unless there is sudden change in the another world or generating AI and thing. So for us to 3 years, I think it would be a life-changing scenario for you. You can level up your CTC to, I don't know, any number you want, 30, 40, 50 is even possible, right? Below 3 years I'm talking. It's just all about DSA. So keep grinding it and at least practice a question every day and complete your DSA first. Like for my case, I have seen there are several breakpoints coming. Like I start from array, I go to linked list. So these are all the iterative approaches. Iterative is a bit easier than the recursive one, right? Where recursion, trees, graphs, and DP comes in play. So what I'm saying is, start from point 0 and go till 100. Do not. I know there would be several breakpoints in the journey. You will something will not come up and you will stop practicing. But I would just say go till 100. No matter what time it takes, just keep on doing it. Once you do that, practice a question daily. Maybe from GFG problem of the day or lead code problem of the day. You must. Once you have completed the standard ones, you must practice the variation of it. Why I'm saying variation? Because in interview, you will not be given a standard one. If you got a standard one, you are lucky. That's why I said luck is also a factor. You just give the brute force, optimal and optimize, khatam. You are clear with the interview. But if a variation comes that you are also practicing per day, right? You are also solving a question per day. So you will be able to tackle that as well, right? So yeah, I think that would be all from my side. So if you have any further, if you don't have any further question, we can end this call.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time, and I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, okay? Because
No.
I'm not the host for the meeting, and that's why it's delayed.
No problem,
Okay.
ma'am. I can completely understand this.
And I
ups and
hope
downs.
your insightful thoughts and your answers, and your answers to the questions are really provoking. And we are happy to have you, Akshay, and we are proud to have you as an alumni too. Okay.
Same here, ma'am.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you everyone for joining. You can connect me on LinkedIn if you have any more doubts, and yeah, I will be able to reply. Chalo.